Hello and welcome to the Living World of Darkness Changeling, the Dreaming Venue. Today's scene has Maxine waiting to speak with Misha at Falafel on a Waffle, relatively close to where she lives, in that it's in Brooklyn. As she waits for her friend to arrive. Yeah, I'll have one falafel on a waffle and maybe a pancake beer thingy. And yeah, Misha, you can come in anytime. I'm not going to have conversations with an invisible waiter.
Yeah, Misha comes in. She looks around, isn't quite sure what the hell this place is, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of sees Maxine over at a table, presumably ordering a falafel on a waffle.
Yes.
And pancake beer? What is that?
Near as we could tell, somebody blended a pancake into a beer when we made it up.
Ew. I mean, I suppose it protects your stomach a little bit. It's just being very practical in a gross way.
It's very filling.
But yeah, she'll head over there and probably come over just as the waiter's walking away because that's how that always works.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she'll kind of give one of those little waves and kind of drop to sit across from her.
So, how's it hanging? You said you wanted to talk?
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of.
Ah, that's very strange for us. We rarely ever talk.
I know. She sort of looks around at like the food on other people's tables, looking a little confused.
It's the general theme we've come up for this restaurant is other things stacked on top of breakfast foods. So, like kebab on an omelet, that kind of thing.
That makes a certain amount of sense depending on what's in the omelet.
We didn't think that far ahead. This is a made-up thing.
I know. I mean, but think about it. You could easily put the same things in the omelet that is in the kebab, and it actually works.
Yes.
Yeah, she's just kind of blinking and refocuses on Maxine. I just had a bit of a very joyful conversation.
Ooh.
With William.
Ah. Well, that's new.
Yeah, sure. Totally new. I never talked to him.
Well, I mean, joyful. All I've seen of him lately is sulky McGrouchy pants.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he's kind of worried.
And I can appreciate him caring. I don't appreciate him scowling at me as though I did something deliberately to hurt him.
I don't think he thinks that. He just doesn't trust your other friend, which is a known issue and has been a known issue for a really long time.
Yes. Nothing new under the sun. Ever.
Yeah. He hasn't found a way to deal with Charles on the few times I have to deal with him the way that I do, you know?
I mean, if he could learn to maybe control his temper or I don't know.
He does have a temper, but I can promise you that his animal friend is not would not hurt you, because that would break certain promises.
It's he makes me uncomfortable. He saw me in jackrabbit form and immediately started snarling at me. You know, easily my most intimidating shape. I understand the wolf's immediate desire to, you know, snap jaws on me, because who wouldn't be terrified of a jackrabbit?
Probably just, no offense, probably just thought you'd be tasty.
Yeah, that's what William said. Surprisingly, not the most comforting statement I've ever heard in defense of having Kelgar in my home.
No, it's not. But the thing is, I doubt you'll ever see Kelgar do that again unless you threaten his life.
Yes, well,
Because now Kelgar knows.
well,
You're not the only one who's had to deal with Kelgar being overly aggressive. Gwen also did not particularly get along in that area with William.
I hear a lot about Gwen these days. Do we have that much in common?
Gwen was good people. She still is good people. She was the first who figured out some things about me. Well, about me and Hall. As she offers sort of a little bit of a grin.
I suppose you guys were better at keeping it a secret back then.
No, it's just nobody was looking. We were pretty blatant. Do you really think he can be discreet?
I mean, he's dressed for it.
I know, right? No, he wasn't discreet. No. He was flirting and I was flirting, and it was really obvious. And we were doing it right in front of people, and nobody noticed. And then we started, but when they finally did, I refused to answer the question. It was just a game. They were just playing a silly game. But Gwen figured it out. She was the first who did, and she never told anyone. You can pity her if you want.
Okay.
There's something you might be able to catch there.
Sure. Let me open up the scene on Discord. And open up my character sheet, because that would be smart.
I just have the main page open. I haven't actually chosen a character to be open yet.
You're gonna switch.
I might just leave and bring in my other one, and you'll be very confused.
Who the hell are you?
I'm just tired of being in the Bronx. I'm going to go to Brooklyn now. Oh wait, I should probably not, because that's where my job and apartment is. Poor girl.
Let's see. I'm going to end your talk scene.
Do it.
Okay. Then open up.
Superb name.
Well, I didn't want to type out everything I had written for ours The scene's currently called The Hare and the Pinniped. So, I was not going to write that.
It's okay, just roll. It's one.
Jesus. Yeah, so there you go.
Still, well, no, it's still something. When Misha's talking about her, there's a certain air of something you don't tend to see on her a lot. Just a hint of like emotion, like connection.
Mm-hmm.
It's only one success. I'm not giving you more than that.
Yeah, that's fine. So why did she leave?
Her mom got really sick and she had to move back to take care of her mom.
Oh. Well, I hope for the best for her.
Me too. And I mean, her mom seems to be doing okay. I hear from her, emails and stuff, you know, PMs, that sort of thing. But yeah. Anyway, the answer is I suppose that you do have some things in common. But in reality, you were actually very different people. For one thing, she walked on a totally different side of the courtroom, if you know what I mean.
I'm familiar with the other side of the courtroom.
Yes. She is all about that other side. You're totally, offense and she's defense. I don't know. I'm just making up random crap at this point.
It's okay. You don't have to speak that much in metaphor.
Well, I just wanted to football or some crap there. So I just wanted to sports ball there.
Yes, the local sports ball team has been doing fantastic. Oh.
But yeah, anyway, I just had this thought of, well, I was trying to find some way to figure out what to do. Because I'll be honest, it's getting a little bit awkward.
Oh,
in your life and my life and his life and everybody else's life that happens to chill around here ever.
I don't mean to make everyone's life difficult, Misha.
I didn't say it was you, although it kind of is you.
It was heavily implied.
I mean, it's at least partly you. I think he could handle this a whole hell of a lot better too. The only reason I would say that you have a part of this is because you're the one who did the thing.
You mean my arts and crafts project, or do you mean my my hand work? Handwork, and she'll hold up her hand, her scars across her palm.
Oh, well, that's totally you too. But in the case of William, he walked into that knowing. So that's totally equal there. I'm referring to you presenting yourself as bait. You did that.
He knew about the spray paint afterwards. He
Right.
just didn't know that absinthe had touched base.
Run, we're back to sports ball.
Yes. But can we immediately leave it again? Because I will run out of metaphors faster than I run out of good ideas.
So should I go for a goal or a strike? Or a home run?
Are those all in the same game now?
Maybe.
What about curling? Does curling have home runs?
Oh God, I have no idea. as I realized that in order to know anything about this, I would have to roll like intelligence
athletics.
And to be honest, I don't want to roll that combination of things because it's scary. So, no, yeah, as compared to the stamina seduction roll, that was infamous. No, I offered to try to talk to you about some of this. And I was going to try to give a compromise, but it turns out it's not really much of a compromise because, well, he's stubborn and that's him, and we're all very shocked by this.
It's his most charming quality.
It's actually not the worst thing, because if you really do need it, I mean, he's got your back.
I guess I just would prefer he doesn't begrudgingly have my back. It does feel very begrudging.
Not everyone's me.
No.
I mean, you know what I mean. And I mean, I don't know how to fix that. I mean, I don't want to be cloned, so that isn't really going to fix it.
Troll Misha. Can't imagine it. You don't have the horns for it.
Horns are completely extra. Do not need them.
They would probably create some sort of drag in the water.
Yeah. Well, I mean, narwhals pull it off pretty well.
Yeah, but they don't have them on the side of their head. You'd look like a really weird hammerhead shark.
Well, I could always cut one off and have surgery to move the other one. But anyway, that sounds really awkward and uncomfortable. I don't want that.
She's just like squinting at you. It's like trying to picture it.
And then we can sing the narwhal song.
It will be an excellent use of our time. I'm sure William will appreciate that musical number.
If you should just be like, have you actually heard the narwhal song?
I think it was before my time.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
I'll have to look into it, I guess.
I'll get you a link. And she's gonna rummage through her phone, basically rummage through her phone for a second, find it on YouTube, send it to yours, and she'll be like, watch that later, you'll understand. And I will get you a link actually.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've seen it.
Okay.
I'm 30. I'm 10 years older than my character.
It's true, but like it's still there. Like everybody's seen it.
Yeah.
At least Tamisha, probably because she's all oceany.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she'll just be like, this is the deal. This is what he would like. And I'm not asking you for him. Let me clarify this. I'm doing it because I promised. I did say I would try to help, even though he wouldn't actually listen to the main thing I need him to do. But because I want you to be safe. Okay? I need you to be safe. It's for me.
She nods. Fire away.
Okay. So, the deal with the goons.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to follow you. They will watch your home. Not in the windows all creepy, just the outside to make sure nobody's sneaking in or whatever.
Okay.
But not you. They're not going to follow you. And I got him to agree to 1 month. That this is to be for 1 month or until the problem is resolved, if before then, or to be revisited after in a month to rethink the whole thing. if this is still an issue then. If you're anything like me, you want to know how long something's going to last.
It would help. Not that I don't enjoy the perpetual company of a very, very surly giant in my living room.
Do you mean the blue giant? Because I don't think they were chilling in your house.
I mean William.
She's like, okay. Yeah, because the other dudes, you can just kind of treat them like a bench that's sitting across the street or something. Just treat them like they're not there, because they're not, because he will make sure that they do not follow you. They're just there to make sure that it's safe when you do come home and that you're safe going in the front door.
Okay.
Okay. And if it's for a month, then new discussions. The other thing is, if at all possible, like if you're going somewhere that it makes sense, bring someone along. Me, William, Shea, like a friend type person, not someone who's going to be a goon staring at you. Somebody that feels a bit more normal.
Okay. I noticed somebody was left off that roster of my friends. We can revisit that another day.
No, it doesn't have to be, because that's definitely something that I brought up to him. He's not happy with that person, obviously. And I'm not either. I don't trust him. William doesn't trust him. This is not a secret.
Mm-hmm.
What matters here is that I tried to make this point to him, is that you do. And this is your life. So we're going to have to accept that he might need to be the person who goes with you. The only thing is that I question about it is, can he defend you? I've never seen him with any form of weapon, if you know what I mean. Because if he goes with you and he can't help you should the situation arise, then he's not the right person to be with you.
I think I might have to have a discussion with him as well. But he has said he would help me. I might have to require some clarification, or at the very least, a definition of help.
Yes, that's a good idea. I mean, William wasn't excited by this fact, and he didn't actually necessarily agree to the Charles part, but...
It's not his place to agree, though, is it?
No, it isn't, but I'm asking that you listen to me.
Okay.
Because I don't want you dead, and I don't want to be dead, and I don't want to have to go to your wake.
Just kind of like the waiter comes with her falafel on a waffle, and she looks down at it for a moment and
just stares at it.
Would you like a bite? It's got falafel. It's got waffles. They rhyme. It's a match made in heaven.
Because rhyming makes everything better?
Well, have you looked at the other items on the menu? Not a single rhyme among them.
I haven't really even looked at the menu, although she definitely looks super questioningly at this beer with pancakes floating in it.
Blended into it. Yeah, just sludgy beer.
And she's just going to look up and be like, you got any, like, regular, like, orange juice, maybe?
The waiter's going to give, like, a disapproving look and then nod. Plebeian.
She don't get another... Yeah, she's not going to order anything right now, to be honest. I don't think this place really... But she does kind of... She'll just be like... She doesn't care about the dirty look. She'll just be like, thanks. and then turn back to you. And she'll like, yeah, I'll try it. Why not?
She'll offer a fork.
And she will apparently stab the said fork into falafel and waffle and stick it in her mouth. We will see what happens from that. It is pretty tasty.
Excellent.
So she chews it and looks a little perplexed, chews a little bit more. And then she kind of blinks, just looking shocked, and she's like, that actually isn't that bad at all.
Well, they rhyme. As though that is the explanation you need.
Right. That is exactly what I was worried about.
So, except the goon squad, bring along a sitter. Any,
As often as you can, like if you're going to work, we realize that you're going to have to do things without people. So you don't. This is not a requirement, but whenever it's possible and it makes sense. Like say you and I decide we're going to go to Vixen. Maybe I could come to your apartment and we could walk out together. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I feel like a freaking burden
You're not
on
a burden.
everybody.
You're not a burden. We want you to be alive because we care about you. And yes, you could definitely note the fact that Misha has never said that before.
She'll give Misha a friendly smile. Thanks.
He just doesn't know how to put it like I can.
This would be a lot easier if he would just stop glaring at me in my own home. I might even be willing to listen to him once in a while if he weren't.
He's kind of a glowery kind of guy, and I did, by the way, steal him from your place for a little bit today. If you noticed the break.
Yes, briefly.
We watched Star Trek Insurrection. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell that bald guy was doing, but it was kind of cool.
I'm still wondering how he managed to passively aggressively text. I mean, I felt the aggression. It definitely.
The other thing I will tell you is that if you ask him to leave, he said he would leave. I think he would take that in a very offended kind of way. But he said he would leave. I don't know if that helps at all.
I care about him, Misha. He's my oath mate. And I really try to be a good choice for those people who've cut themselves into me. You know, I give my support where I can. I didn't ask either of them to do anything. William has leapt to this on his own, and
He thinks you make bad decisions. And let's be honest, you know you've made bad decisions.
I make the decisions that seem like they're going to move things along. We didn't know where Absinthe was. People were responding to my messages. I figured maybe I could lure him out. I don't agree with his tactics, but he might agree with my message.
You didn't quite lure him enough, and the problem was probably more that there wasn't actually a trap laid out for him when you lured him.
My plan was fairly simplistic. Find him, go boom. Preferably him, not me. I know it's kind of a toss-up, but I have 2 lucky rabbit's feet.
And 2 lucky rabbit arms?
Wow. I am quick on the draw.
So,
and if it's too big of a mistake, I could always request a mulligan.
Yeah, you better bring a golf club with you to help with that particular task. As she imagined you breaking a golf club over your knee.
That might be an interesting choice of actions.
Bunk. It's probably more bent golf club than breaking.
Injured knee.
Just don't choose like the really heavy. What's it, the heavy one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't choose that one.
This would again have to require an intelligence athletics roll.
No, I'm just not doing it. I'm sorry.
The description of this is going to be Misha and Maxine discuss sports.
Sports ball.
So much sports ball. I don't want to hurt him, and I don't. When he isn't surly, I enjoy his company. Strangely enough. Having him around is a comfort.
He and I fight. We kind of yelled at each other a little bit today. It's not the first time I've yelled at him either. I yelled at him real bad, a month ago?
Oh.
But he's stable. And I've never had a lot of stable in my life. Like, I know that he will be there. And that's something that you could probably get from him too. He may come off all surly and grumpy, but you know the other side of him.
He doesn't often let me see the other side of him, especially not since I made friends with Charles.
Look, I think you and I both know that there are other factors adding into this that just make it more difficult. I'm not going to go into the details on that, but I think you know exactly what I'm talking about.
She gives a curious head tilt, and I'll P&E to see if she knows exactly what the hell you're talking about, because I don't. Let's see.
Actually, enigmas might work better.
Enigmas? Okay.
Yeah, try like perception enigmas if you have that.
Wait.
Do you have it?
Nope.
Huh. Well, because I'm not sure you can really get it from anything he's just doing. So
then I'll just roll perception. Let's see. Then I'll do it at difficulty 7.
Okay.
If it'll let me. Did I do that right? I think I did.
Yeah, it might be super slow or acting up.
Let me grab my dice roller on my phone.
There it is. It just popped up. Sometimes it just gets really questionably weird.
Okay. Okay, 1 success then.
Yes. Well, she did just mention something that took place. She said about a month ago. I was making up a time frame in that instance. So, but we'll just whatever she would have really said was pretty accurate to about the time that there was that moment between William and Maxine. It was a pretty. She would have. So that would be probably what you'd get from that type. Kind of connecting the dots.
Oh, okay.
Connecting the dots between that semi-romantic thing.
She gives kind of a awkward nod of, I guess I know what you're talking about. And I don't think anything's ever going to come of that, though.
I'm not getting involved in whether it does or doesn't. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that it's there and it's hanging. You know of it. He knows of it.
I question how much of it he has. I don't know.
There might be more than you realize. Maybe. Totally. If I were you, I would be like, I'm going to penny the shit out of that statement. I mean, just because of the subject, I can see why Maxine might do that. That's your call.
No, I will. Sorry. I was just about to, and like my phone went off from my husband. So
it's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's cool. I was and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Tell me everything.
Yes.
She seems to be implying something by that. To be implying that perhaps there's. Try to figure out how let's just say that she seems pretty positive that there's something. In fact, with 5 successes, she seems really positive that there's something.
She's going to give kind of a really, really perplexed look at this, and then if he has feelings for me, he has a very delightful way of showing it, making me feel as though when other women are in the room, I'm invisible. That's a quick way to my heart. When other people are in the room, he's generally fairly dismissive of my intelligence and of me.
I think he's scared.
Of what exactly? I mean, I haven't asked him for anything.
You haven't. You have not asked for anything. I know that. At least I assume that. Not that I'm there for every conversation. I'm clearly not. I'm just telling you that's my impression, and that's really all I can say. I can't tell you more. You're going to have to trust my words. Because I can't tell you more than that. And I'm trusting that you won't bring that up to him. What my opinion is.
Of course. I probably wouldn't bring it up to him, even excluding your opinion. If he can't be open with me, or at least kind to me, I'd rather suffer in Charles's company if that's the
Well,
the
no, it's completely separate from that.
I believe no. What I mean is when choosing who I spend my time around willingly, I tend to opt towards those who aren't going to make me feel like pond scum. Before, well,
No,
back in the right immediately after my oath, there were quite a few arguments, and he at one point said he didn't want to be friends anymore. And that changed.
mm-hmm. Misha
But
doesn't seem surprised by this, by the way.
mm-hmm.
He has a lot of opinions.
Yes, but he doesn't have the ears for listening.
He does, but not in emotional things. It's interesting the things he notices. He notices things, he just doesn't notice emotion things very well. He's almost as bad at this emotional shit as I am.
Oh, come on now. You seem to have worked things out with Birdman.
I'm not even sure how that happened.
For all of the emotional distance that you claim to have, you open up to people to people. Maybe it's just to those of us with the furry or feathery behinds. We are quite the charmers when we want to be.
Apparently I have an animal fetish. Check me out.
It's fine. We do too. You like them mammalian or aviary. We like them mammalian and pinnipedian. Meh, whatevs. Pinnipedal? What does the ped refer to? It neither here nor there.
Well, she just stares at you as you're going through this whole thing.
Furries, the lot of us is what we are.
And feathers. Furry and feather.
I think the furry community embraces the feathered community.
It would be easier to embrace a bird than for a bird to embrace a furry, because wings don't really curve around the right way, whereas arms or legs might.
You would know better than I.
I mean, fins are pretty good.
Fins seem like they would be ideal for slapping.
Flippers are very good for that. I can show you sometime. We can see how far I can smack the bunny.
Having recently been involved in a brief game of Smack the Bunny, I am fine with not doors in my derriere, you know. No. But look, it's not that I don't want him around. It's the way he does it. When you're around because you're worried, we talk. He doesn't talk. He sits there and glowers at me.
And
Or,
tries to tell you what to do.
yes. It's
He doesn't understand how important independence and freedom are.
which is really weird considering his overall message, isn't it?
He sees it, I think, more as he's trying to save you from yourself since you made this decision.
Does he think I can't take care of myself?
To be fair, you're dealing with absinthe here, and of course, it's the alcoholic drink I'm referring to. As she looks around,
It's falafel on a waffle, a fairly dead location. not the Hoyt cuisine that New York generally has to offer. So
I mean, I just he sees some of the decisions you make, and he doesn't agree. And to be honest, I don't think you thought that one through. If you're going to try to pull someone out, you should really have a plan with what to do with them once you do.
I like the simple plans.
So simple that it wasn't a plan. It was
Hey,
just, let's draw him out.
draw him out and then shoot him.
Yes, but you didn't quite get to the shooting part.
Well, he hasn't been drawn out yet.
He's been drawn out enough to make threats.
Yes, generally I need to see a face or at least a torso to aim at, though.
Right. So either way, it still ends up being kind of a failed plan.
Well, time may tell.
It's been a month, dear.
Yeah, well, he's a very slow pen pal.
What is he, a sloth furry?
He must be. All of our intel telling us that that he was green around the gills must have been incorrect.
Right. So are you willing to admit that it's a failed plan now?
I will admit it's a failed plan as my last dying words.
Okay, you're not going to do that. So you just need to realize that it is in fact a failed plan.
Oh, okay.
Or you need to step 2 to more fully draw him out. And I'm not suggesting you do that by yourself.
Well, what would you suggest?
I suggest that you include the rest of us who want to keep you safe.
I told you before I sprayed.
You spade?
Sprayed.
Spade.
Yes. Thank you, Bob Barker.
That is a personal decision. I really feel you should be very sure that the pets want this before you do it.
No, it was a personal decision. I don't want kids, so it just seemed easier to go under the knife.
Right. No, I mean, I knew that you were, being artistic.
I'm pretty sure I informed you just because you seemed a little miffed when I wasn't forthright in the past.
I mean, when I find out things by digging through your stuff.
Yes. Well, I mean, if you weren't digging through my stuff,
then I wouldn't be me.
Yes. But I told you that night he decided he was too drunk to listen to Puka. He's always too something to listen to Puka, though.
Impatient might be the thing.
Might be. He always seems to take issue with what I am.
He takes, yeah, he seems to be able to handle Amber better.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I wasn't referring to that.
It's fine.
But I don't need to tell you about it. I feel it's burned in your brain.
Forever and ever, every time I look at him.
I hope it fades, because it should not be an important thing. He also seems to be able to handle Hall better.
Well, aren't I the special snowflake then?
I mean, there are still times when he just kind of stops and looks at me and he's like, Misha, explain.
Mm.
And there are times, there are a few times that even I kind of don't get what the hell's going on. I don't know. I'll tell him that he needs to try to be more patient, but I kind of feel he just seems to be very in very short supply on that particular feeling.
Maybe when this absent thing resolves, I should just go.
She doesn't say anything, but her eyes just sort of widen in alarm. I'm not. You don't need to roll for this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't tend to look alarmed very often.
I mean, hell, Charles and I have talked about travel before, and maybe it would make things easier for him. After all, he's got a system to work in now, and new friends to make, and libraries to see to, or whatever's going on.
He's. I don't know if he's capable of really being your friend, despite any promises.
William?
Charles.
Ah.
William is capable of it. He just needs to figure some things out. I don't want you to leave. I know you've brought it up before. And it's always going to be your choice. But I don't want you to leave.
She just closes her eyes and nods. My oathmates are a pain in the ass. just friend to friend. Let me tell you. I have like 2/3 of them are just 90% of my headaches.
And the other one is just loud.
You know, the loud, questionable use of Szechuan sauce individual is a lot easier to everything's just a lot easier there. There's nobody's asking if I'm going to marry them or if I'm going to.
To be fair, that's another image probably burned into your brain, considering that someone was also involved.
Yes, but she doesn't know. I mean,
No, I mean, I assume she doesn't. I don't know what you've said or not said, but if you say no, then I assume.
you know, and Charles knows. And oh yes, the big blue oaf knows as well. I've told him before. He asked me if I wanted him because I think he's a bad idea.
What did you say? But of course I didn't ask that as a question. As she says that out loud.
Of course, I've picked him because it's a bad decision, Misha. That's why I make the choices I make, not because of any other reason than thinking that they're going to bring me the maximum amount of misery, pain, and suffering. You know, it wasn't until I got here that my decisions actually seemed to be all that bad. But I guess we have to start somewhere.
I don't know. I mean, you did bring along some white, rather frilly baggage.
I think leaving that behind was a good idea still to this day.
You might have left the dress behind, though. That was completely extra space taken up by something you're never going to use. But Hall is very much enjoying.
Oh, good for him.
Misha just kind of starts giggling.
Because he worked it into his regular rotation of clothes now.
I mean, you do realize that it would require some rather specific fixes to make certain appendages of his work properly.
I figured you would have helped him with that already.
If he asks, I would. But I'm not going to offer. I need. It's kind of fun to see him trying to make it work. I mean, he's a goofball. If he wants to wear a dress once in a while, I don't care.
It shows off his gams.
And they are good gams. I mean, you saw them pretty up close and personal, really.
Yes. Those pictures seem to insinuate quite a bit.
Yeah, they did. For a reason, because we set them up that way.
Yes.
So, are you game to give in a little bit?
I'll try and be less difficult towards him.
I'm not telling you how to treat him. I'm just trying to maybe I'll try to be safer, that's all.
I'll bring people along and refrain from further call-outs for the foreseeable future.
Call-outs?
Invitations.
To your other friend to come stay.
I meant to the green individual to come at me and catch me outside.
Catch. How about that? How about that?
How about that?
I'm trying to say that the right way. It's hard.
Because you have to say it all at once. Catch me outside. How about that? It's one word.
I don't want to say this. Never mind.
The kids are hip with the lingo these days.
Yeah, okay. I'd appreciate it. I mean, I mean, and if you want to crash at my place sometimes to, get a break, I'm not sure he's actually going to ever leave. I feel he may just have made himself a little home, your little home.
I'm pretty sure if I left him and Charles in my home alone together, I would be out too.
Well, let's put it this way. I can probably convince William to come along with you so that he can sleep, on the couch or something. And you could have the bedroom, or you could sleep in the room with me if Hall's not there. Or, I feel three of us in there would be difficult. Unless you're both in animal forms, then it might work. Actually, we could all three be in animal forms. I live right on the beach. So I could just go down to the water, shift, and sort of flop my way up. It'll be fine.
I feel like you're complicating things quite a bit.
Maybe it's the company I keep. Stare.
Well, I do have a knack for accommodations, apparently. I just can't shake it.
Or, we could just fill the bathtub with salt water.
Ooh.
That would work.
I could pick up some bath salts on the way home.
I mean, we'll just go down to the water with buckets because I need to have actual ocean water.
Oh, okay. I don't know how any of that works.
Well, now you know that.
Okay. It's got to be ocean water, not Epsom salt. Gotcha.
It needs to be the sea, the ocean, the whatever. Yes. But a freshwater river would not really work.
Mm-hmm.
Although I could still swim pretty damn well.
What it must be like being you.
Let's just say I win all of the breathing contests, the ones where you can just sort of stop breathing. I win them all. Except unless it's against another one of us.
Are those contests people usually have? Just like, you know what, I'm going to stop. An involuntary action.
No, like holding your breath underwater like they would in a swimming class.
Oh, that makes much more sense.
Duh.
I was just imagining a bunch of people along the shoreline just holding their breath.
No, it's like kids learning to, hold their breath so that they can be underwater, kind of thing. And I suppose play musical instruments. There's some breath support or something there too. Anyway. So there you go. We found a way to get me into the apartment and in my other form. And so the three of us can just have a little party on my bed where I make the bed all wet. It'll be great. Wait, I do that anyway, so never mind. As she smirks because there's totally a double entendre there.
She just kind of scrunches her nose. Cool.
She looks down at her feet where the puddle is forming.
It's a good strong plan B.
No, but I mean the thing is you could at least have your own bedroom. And you wouldn't have to see him.
Well, it's not seeing him that's the problem. I don't mind him. I wish I hated seeing him. Seeing him would be fantastic.
I just meant a break. Or, I mean, I don't have any reason. Okay, let me clarify this. I don't like Charles. You know that. I don't particularly want him to even know where I live. But I also understand that sometimes you got to deal with things, and I think he would very much follow the rules of hospitality. I don't think he would do anything in my home that was against my wishes, because it's my home.
He is very, very respectful. To a fault, respectful.
I would disagree with that based on my own personal experiences with him.
In his home?
No.
Or your home?
Well, in his home.
Oh. What happened?
Oh, apparently I said something he didn't like, so he decided to go all creepy and stare me down.
She seems concerned by this. Do you remember what it was you said?
No. I don't. Because OOC, it was like the pizza party scene like
6 months ago.
Yeah. So I do not remember what I said.
Oh.
He just didn't like it. And don't get me wrong, I probably was rude to him because, well, it's fun to be rude to him. But kind of an overreaction.
Well, he's he's an acquired taste, but he's never been anything but respectful in my home, to me at least. I I've stayed with him for about a month, and he's been gracious to me. So I know I keep complicated company, but I don't suffer constantly for it, anyways.
Okay,
I mean,
to be honest, we're all kind of complicated. We all like live double lives.
yeah.
I mean, I know people who like. Well, I know of one who turned into some weird. I don't know. They're supposed to be a werewolf. But she sort of looks around again carefully. Supposed to be a werewolf, but she turned into some weird, hairy-looking human thing. And
Just this is more of that Central Park lore, right?
oh yeah, all the myth and legend.
Yeah, Dessa said something to me about that stuff when I first got here, but I don't know. I mean,
I've seen it. I've
oh,
seen someone do that. It was Karina's girlfriend.
well, I guess that's as good a reason as any to stay out of the park.
I just thought it was weird that it wasn't like a wolf. I mean, you'd think werewolf.
Some people just don't have the panache to wear the fur all the time, she says with a little twitch of her ears.
I happen to like my fur, thank you.
And I as well. Well, mine, you not that
Yeah, but yeah,
furry.
we should just bat our eyes at her.
You're a little hairless, but
Oh, there's hair. It's just not the same kind of hair you have. I'm still mammalian.
well, yes, but I don't require water. I mean,
You do actually.
not to change as a general beverage choice. Yes.
I mean, you do require anyway. No, I realized that, and that's why that just makes me a super special one of you furry people. But I mean, I still have hair. It's just different than yours.
Well, if you ever want to talk about it, we can trade secrets on how to keep it nice and shiny.
I personally use a salt mask.
I thought salt dried out hair. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I generally just condition.
I
It makes things simpler not being for me anyways, not being in my preferred form in the tub.
It's kind of difficult to get out, I imagine.
Well, yes. And also, yes.
Right. Well, but I need some conditioning tips. I'll let you know.
4 people in that tiny apartment. I haven't had hot water in days.
Would you like a shower before before you like we can stop at my place so you can get a hot shower?
I might have to take you up on that just because why?
Keep it remember you chose these people and they care about your well-being.
That they do.
And even if they're all like super grumpy pants, which at least two of them are maybe not, but one of them is, but at the same time, he's also one who can defend you really well. And you're not even sure what the hell Charles can do, aside from what, use his diamond teeth?
I know Charles very well.
I'm sorry.
Well, I know. I'm not. But I can understand how it might not be an enviable position to some of you.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I apologize.
No, she said, I'm sorry. And Maxine said, well, I'm not, but I can see how it's not an enviable position to some of you.
She just nods.
I don't doubt my friendship with him, or even his loyalty to me, oddly enough. I've shed a lot of tears over a certain individual. And he is my friend, and he was there to help me sort of sort through things. And you know that the promises we make don't require the extra nice and fluffy sides of friendship.
No, it doesn't have to. I mean, but if you're lucky, it does.
And I've been lucky.
She's going to look her in the eye and say, "Me too."
Should I peony that? It feels like a peony moment.
You can always peony if that's a thing that you would do.
Let's see.
You're gonna botch.
Oh, I got one success.
She certainly seems to mean something more than the simple words.
Okay. I love when a peony makes a conversation more confusing. She definitely means something. Damn it.
I mean, it's one success. You caught the fact that there is an implication there.
Yes, there is subtext.
There is subtext that you don't get. Ha ha. It's taunting you.
Ignorance is better than one success.
Yeah, I mean, it just there's much more meaning to it, but you're not going to get that with this.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Oh, that's where you start asking questions.
Yes.
If you want to know more. If you don't, you could accept it and move on and try to bring it up another time. Whatever.
Shall we compare luck? I'll show you. I'll tell you mine. You tell me yours.
Kinky. I just mean that I'm lucky enough to have an oath with someone who actually does care about me and will check on me and stuff. You can totally peony that too if you want.
Yep.
And I'm going to roll against that one because she's specifically trying to not tell things at this point.
Let's see if I can puka. Can you puka? You never can.
I'm just kind of. I'm trying to remember my dice. Wait a minute. Wait, it's Pinniped sub, so I can do. Okay, I know what that dice pool is. I was going, what's my dice pool? Because we just got stuff approved, but. I got 2. You got 3, so you win. Yay. It is truth, but not the full truth.
Wait, what was the statement again? I thought it was you have somebody who cares about you and
Yeah, she said I'm lucky that I have someone who cares enough about me to check when if something's wrong.
oh, is that someone our mutual friend?
Yeah, sure.
Peony, that sure. Yeah, sure. It is not the same as of course.
Agree.
I don't know what the hell I did. I'm gonna match random numbers and letters.
And then you just get
Two.
and apparently Harry Potter joins the scene. Petrificus totalis.
What the hell was a 6DQP?
I was just laughing at the Petrificus totalis. I don't know why it was so funny right then.
I'm laughing at the gibberish. So okay, so yeah, sure. I buy. Yeah, sure.
I mean, it seems pretty reasonable. Sure.
Yeah.
Like yeah. Totally. Not the most convincing lie OOC, but I see it certainly seems to have worked okay.
Yeah. Seems legit. All right.
I can't help it that she has to keep all the secrets now.
All the secrets.
That and the fact that she really did actually she has a deal. She's not supposed to tell about that. For all that I know, that I think I've given accidental hints before.
Mm-hmm.
She's really not supposed to be telling about the Motley unless they all agree to it. So,
yeah.
So yeah. No, I mean William certainly does. He makes sure I get home safe when I'm drunk and all the kind of stuff a friend would do, right? So
yeah. He spends most of his time being my friend yelling at me. There was a brief respite for about a month there, but that time has passed and he's back to calling me stupid. Lucky me.
I told him that I told him that you are not any of that type of thing, and that it's just that your cleverness is in a different way than he would prefer. Because you're a very different person than him.
Well, he doesn't seem to see it that way. Apparently, when I'm around him, I give off the aura of gigantic blue monster man, just like him.
Tickle him.
No, I don't want my arms broken or Kelgar to bite me.
Kelgar won't bite you.
Mm.
You can trust that. Kelgar's not going to bite you. Just don't show fear.
She tilts her ears back and gives like the little head tilt of rabbit.
And Misha gives her a look back with those big liquid eyes of seal.
Yeah, but seal versus
wolf is never going to happen.
No. Hare versus wolf is probably something Maxine has had to outrun before. Nothing special or anything, but she lived near the forest.
Okay, you do realize that he would have to defend you, right?
Even still, he doesn't seem to be one to enjoy fun with me.
Why don't you set up a fun thing? Find something fun to do with him. Go make pottery, or I don't know. Paint stupid weird plates or something. Paint a mug. Go putt golfing. Throw snowballs at him. It might make you feel better.
Yeah. I'm sure that'll go over really well with him.
I mean, the snowballs probably wouldn't, but the rest. I mean, find something to do with them. Like, maybe that just something to lighten the tension up and just be like, we're not going to talk about anything serious. We're just going to go and we're going to have fun.
Because if he told me no, it would crush me.
Why would he say no?
She gives a little shrug.
I mean, Misha actually looks concerned for like as she's saying it. Just kind of watching her at this point because that's actually kind of unsettling that she thinks that.
He always seems so intent on being serious when it comes to me. Like I'm going to offer him up to Charles on a platter or something. Never mind the fact that I freely made an oath to him. He still acts as though it is in some way just a matter of time before I betray him or something. And he engages in very, very little brevity with me.
Sounds like that's something that needs to change. Why not horseback riding? He likes doing that. You could ask him if he'll teach you.
Maybe.
I'm also thinking Kelgar would probably not be present there because, well, I mean, that would scare a horse pretty badly.
If the horse could see it.
You know, I kind of feel that some animals might see it, though. Or you could just ask that Kelgar not be there for your own comfort level, so that this could just be a light and fun outing. It's up to you. But there's something there, and you guys are never going to get past it if you don't try.
I guess I don't see the point. He wants to be casual with everyone. Did I tell you I met Opal?
Yeah, actually you did, but I don't remember the details right now.
She was very forthcoming about the nature of her relationship with William. Do you know what it's like running into one of his many casual friends out in the wild like that?
I mean, for me, it wouldn't be a big deal.
Well,
For you, it's different, and I understand that.
it
Let me put this in a scenario that I would get at the moment if I found out. Say I just still back at that point where I just kind of liked Paul, and he was more like William and was just kind of sleeping around randomly, and I ran into one of his people. That's more something I would get because I don't see William like that.
Well, yes, I know you don't see William like that, but
It'd be all kinds of awkward and I would be upset.
Yes. And after that chance encounter and the movie shoot and the general shift in his behavior towards me as a whole, I'm trying not to feel that way either. Like I said, it would be easier if I hated his company.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like the only time he's not serious is if he's drinking.
Yeah, but then he doesn't want to listen any more than he does when he's sober.
No, then he starts getting other things on his mind.
Yeah, usually Amber.
Well, I mean, they're friends, and as FWBs,
Mm-hmm.
as I understand it, because there doesn't seem to be any strings at all.
Yeah, well, and he can have that.
I mean, I like Amber. I don't have a problem with the life either of them chooses to live. It's just when I think he's such a chicken.
He says he builds walls, so
You think? I mean, at least he's not lying about that. He hasn't done it with me, but that's because I'm not in that zone. Did I tell you that he tried, though?
I think he might have mentioned it.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. It's just. I knew that wasn't the life I wanted, so.
10 out of 10 can relate. I don't know. It'd be easier just to move on. Find, I don't know.
Something else to think about.
Yes.
Not necessarily a person, just something else to think about.
And yeah, I try to keep myself busy. Unfortunately, nobody likes how I do that.
Well, you throw yourself at a terrorist, as he likes to put it.
Better me than a group of innocent people.
Still wouldn't know why the Shi aren't doing more about this.
Oh, honey. They haven't done anything since I've arrived. Well,
Oh, they gave us Dross. I got Dross.
there was that lovely girl with the apples.
Hmm?
The girl with the apples. Oh, you didn't. The bear fight. There was
Oh,
there was a she there. She didn't last long though.
right. Yeah, I heard about her. I just didn't really see that.
It's for the best. It wasn't pretty.
Oh, that stupid Aqua Bear. That would fucking hurt.
Oh, like a motherfucker. She like idly like rubs her ribs while she says that.
Yeah, Misha doesn't, because I don't even remember where she got hurt. It was just random damage from like things being thrown at her, I
Yeah.
guess.
Maxine like at one point threw herself over that she because she was standing there like trying to cast magic and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to protect the rabbit." And like, "Nope, don't do that." Okay, well then I guess I'm jumping between her and the bear for all the human shield that I can provide. Surprisingly, I'm still here. She is not.
Okay. But I think we've pretty much covered what I needed to ask of you, and you seem to see it at least as reasonable. So I appreciate that.
If you could just tell him to stop scowling at me all the time, that'd be fantastic.
I have no problem passing that message. I'll ask him if he can be a little more friendly to you, not necessarily to him, not to Charles, but to you. Fair enough?
Fair enough. It's my home. I'd like to feel
like you can sit down on the couch and not have someone looking all
passively
pissy.
aggressively ordering pizza. Yeah. That would be fantastic.
I will ask him. That's fine. I will do that. Meanwhile, would you like to see my bathroom that is finally finished?
Does it have hot water?
It does. It's not very big, but in return, I have a really great craft room.
Ooh. Sounds phenomenal. Lead the way.
And she's actually going to order a falafel on a waffle because it was actually pretty tasty to take with her. So she's going to order one to go.
Mm-hmm.
And probably, wait 10 minutes and leave type of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, Maxine will follow.
And I guess we end there as we head towards the really tacky touristy side of Brooklyn.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and we'll see you next time.